The screen flickers to life, and in the stillness of the moment, it feels as if you're being spoken to directly. The words emerge softly, yet carry undeniable authority. You, who carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, I see you. Today is not just another day. It's the prelude to something greater. The burdens you've been shouldering, the ones that keep you awake at night, weren't meant for you to carry alone. You feel exhausted, don't you? A kind of tiredness that no amount of sleep seems to cure. It's not just physical, it's deeper, embedded in your soul. As you sit there, perhaps scrolling for distraction or searching for something you can't quite name, let me tell you this. Your search brought you here. Not by accident, not by coincidence. You are here because I want you to hear these words. You're tired because life has been relentless. There are demands, expectations, fears, and uncertainties that pile up like an unending storm. But storms, no matter how fierce, eventually subside. And right now, I'm extending my hand to you in the midst of it all. Think about the battles you've fought, the times you've kept going when you thought you had nothing left. Do you feel unseen? I see you. Do you feel unheard? I hear you. And do you feel alone? You're not. There's a promise waiting for you, one that has been there all along, though the noise of the world may have drowned it out. And that promise begins with these words. Come to me. Come to me. These words are not just an invitation, they are a declaration. In a world that constantly demands more from you, where every step can feel like climbing a mountain with no summit in sight, I am here to tell you, there is a place of rest. Not the kind of rest you find in a fleeting moment of distraction or a few hours of sleep. No, this is the rest your soul has been crying out for. A rest that quiets the inner turmoil, that silences the relentless voice of doubt, fear, and inadequacy. As you hear these words, let their weight settle in your heart. Come to me. There is no judgment here, no list of conditions you need to meet before approaching. Whether you feel worthy or unworthy, strong or weak, confident or broken, none of that matters to me. What matters is that you come. You see, the burdens you carry are not meant to define you. They are not who you are. They are the struggles of a world that often forgets the beauty and value of your soul. But I have never forgotten. I know you deeply, completely, and without hesitation. Right now, in this very moment, I am offering you something the world cannot give. A rest that doesn't just pause the chaos, but transforms it. A rest that brings light to the darkest corners of your being and reminds you of a truth you might have forgotten. You are loved beyond measure. When I say, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, I'm not speaking to some distant crowd or an abstract group of people. I'm speaking to you. Yes, you. The one watching this. The one who feels like they've been carrying the weight of the world for far too long. You might be weary from the expectations others have placed on you, the responsibilities that seem endless, or even from the battles within your own mind. Perhaps you've been trying to keep it all together, putting on a brave face for the world while inside you're crying out for relief. And those burdens? They come in so many forms. Maybe it's the regret of past mistakes, the anxiety of what's to come, or the heaviness of trying to prove yourself in a world that often overlooks your worth. But here's the truth. You don't have to carry those burdens alone. I see the strength you've shown, even when it feels like no one else notices. I see the moments you've pressed on, even when it felt impossible. And I know the tears you've shed in silence, hoping for a peace that seems just out of reach. Right now, I want you to hear this. You are not alone in your struggles. I am here, waiting for you to lay it all down. Not because you failed or because you're weak, but because you were never meant to bear it all on your own. The burdens you carry are heavy, but my arms are stronger. My heart is big enough to hold all of your pain, your fears, and your doubts. And my invitation stands, come to me and I will give you rest. Let's talk about rest, the kind of rest I promise to give you. It's not just about stepping away from the noise of life or taking a moment to breathe. No, This rest is deeper. It's the rest your soul longs for, the peace that comes when you finally let go of the weight you've been carrying. When I say, I will give you rest, I'm offering more than just a pause. I'm offering a renewal, a restoration. This is the rest that goes beyond physical tiredness. It reaches into the very core of who you are. It's the rest that reminds you that you are not defined by what you do, what you achieve, or how well you perform. You see, the world often tells you that rest must be earned, that you can only stop when everything is done, when you've proven your worth. But I'm telling you the opposite. My rest isn't something you have to work for, it's a gift, freely given. Imagine, for just a moment, what it would feel like to lay down your burdens and not pick them back up. To no longer be haunted by the what-ifs or the not-enoughs. That's the rest I'm offering you. It's not a fleeting escape from reality, but a transformative peace that stays with you, even in the midst of life's storms. I know you've been searching for this, perhaps without even realizing it, and now it's here. All you need to do is come to me and receive it. Rest isn't just possible, it's my promise to you. Now let's talk about trust. Trust is the bridge between your weariness and my rest. It's not always easy, I know. Life has a way of teaching you to hold back, to protect yourself from disappointment. But my heart for you is different from anything you've known. When I say come to me, I'm asking you to trust that I can handle your pain, your confusion, your questions. I'm asking you to trust that my love for you isn't conditional. It doesn't depend on how strong or perfect you are. My love is steady, even when everything else feels uncertain. I know it can be hard to let go. You've been taught to be strong, to keep going, to figure things out on your own. But what if strength isn't about carrying it all yourself? What if true strength comes from knowing when to let someone help? You don't have to have it all figured out to come to me. You don't have to fix yourself first or clean up the mess. I already see it all, and still I call you to me. This is the trust I'm inviting you into. Not blind faith, but a relationship. A space where you can be real, where you can bring your doubts and your fears knowing they won't push me away. I've walked this path before you. I know what it means to face pain, to feel the weight of the world pressing in. And because of that, I can meet you right where you are. Trust me with your burdens, and let's walk this road together. Let's talk about the yoke I'm offering you. A yoke might sound like a strange thing to offer when you're tired. After all, isn't a yoke a tool for work? But the yoke I give isn't about burdening you further. It's about partnership, about walking together. You see, in the fields, a yoke is used to join two animals so they can share the load, making the work lighter for both. That's what I'm inviting you into. A life where you don't carry the weight alone. When I say my yoke is easy, it means it's perfectly fitted for you. It's not heavy, not ill-fitting, not something that will exhaust you further. It's crafted with love, designed to bring you freedom, not restriction. And when I say my burden is light, it's because I carry it with you. I don't stand apart, watching you struggle. I'm right there beside you, guiding every step, matching your pace. This yoke is not about striving. It's about surrender. It's about letting go of the yokes the world tries to place on you. The yoke of performance, the yoke of expectations, the yoke of self-reliance. Those are the yokes that weigh you down. With me, you'll find that the journey becomes bearable, even joyful. You'll discover strength you didn't know you had, not because of who you are, but because of who I am walking beside you. This is my promise, to never leave you, never forsake you, and to carry what you cannot. Together, we'll move forward into a life of true rest and peace. Now I want you to hear this clearly. Rest isn't just a break from work or a moment of peace. It's a deep, soul-satisfying stillness that comes from being with me. It's not about escaping life's challenges or pretending they don't exist. Instead, it's about finding a source of strength that doesn't come from yourself. When I invite you to rest, I'm offering you more than just a pause. I'm offering you my presence. I'm inviting you to experience a peace that surpasses all understanding. It's the kind of peace that doesn't come from the absence of problems, but from the certainty that you are never alone in the midst of them. The world tells you to keep pushing, to keep striving, to keep running. But I tell you to stop. Stop chasing, stop worrying, and let your soul find rest in me. Rest doesn't mean you'll stop working or stop facing challenges. It means you'll approach them with a renewed perspective, one that knows the weight you carry isn't yours to bear alone. It means you'll face each day with the peace that comes from knowing I'm walking with you every step of the way. This rest is more than just a physical break. It's a heart-level renewal. It's the ability to face the hard parts of life with a sense of calm assurance, knowing that you have everything you need to endure. So when I call you to rest, I'm not asking for inactivity. I'm asking for trust. Trust in me. Trust in my ability to carry the load. Trust that my peace is enough for whatever you're facing. Come to me. Take my yoke upon you. Let your soul find rest in me. As we close this message, I want you to feel deeply the invitation I'm extending to you. The world might offer you temporary solutions, fleeting comforts, or distractions that promise rest, but they never truly satisfy the hunger of your soul. The rest I give isn't just for a moment. It's an everlasting peace that fills you completely, allowing you to stand firm no matter the storms around you. There is no pressure in this rest, no obligation to meet impossible standards. My love for you doesn't depend on your performance, but on who you are to me. You are my child, and I want you to experience a life that flows from deep within, where you no longer feel the need to strive and stress your way through everything, but instead, trust and walk in the freedom I offer. This rest means peace not only for your heart, but for your mind and your spirit. It's a holistic rest, reaching every part of you, so you can live fully and freely. The weight that has held you down, the burdens that have oppressed you, are lifted in this place of rest. With me, you find the strength you've been looking for. I'm not calling you to a life of passivity. I'm calling you to a life of surrender, where you trust my way over your own and allow me to lead you into a life of rest, peace, and fulfillment. So, don't hesitate, don't resist. Come to me, and you will find rest for your soul. This is my promise to you. In the middle of life's busiest seasons, in the heart of your heaviest burdens, you will find rest, true rest, when you come to me.